to continue. The only thing that I want to persuade you today is that for the history of this nation, and also for the importance of this house, whenever you point a finger, remember that there is a finger which is pointing right back at you. And the impeachment process is a very painful process to go through. And it is important for us to know the consequences and also the unintended consequences. I don't really care how anyone votes. I think all of us will vote based on their own conscience. What I care is on the process of coming up to that vote. And this is why I want to persuade you that a committee will be able to give you and yourself and myself an opportunity to read a report that 11 distinguished members of this House would have already carried out an investigation on. They'll be able to tell you whether those charges have been substantiated or they have not been substantiated. Number two, Mr. Speaker, anything we do in this House goes on record. I'm very happy to propose the committee way because of two reasons, so that I can be able to request my distinguished Senator Asigi to second. When we go through the committee, it will not be sitting here and listening to two lawyers. It will be our colleagues telling us that we went through the documentation and we found A, B, C, and D. And based on this, these are our observations and these are our recommendations. That is issue number one. Number two, Mr. Speaker, it will also give us an opportunity to be able to show Kenyans and the world who are watching that the Senate, even though it is not a court of law, can be able to carry out the functions. Please, let me finish, and then you can call your point of orders.
Senator Cherargei, what is your point of order? The very last point of order on this matter.
Mr. Speaker, I hope it's not the last for the day. I have several. Mr. Speaker, under Standing Order 105 of the Standing Orders and Standing Order 80, is it in order for Senator Ledama Olekina, the mover of motion, to mislead us and the public that when it goes to special committee, it is the only time the feedback is only through our members, yet he knows very well as a senior ranking member that when a governor appears through plenary, he or she has an option of either representing herself or himself or through legal representatives, Mr. Speaker. Is it in order to mislead the country that the only point, as per Standing 105, Mr. Speaker? No, stop pointing at me. We are not in somewhere maandamano, my friend.
Senator
stop pointing at me.
Senator Cherargei. Senator Fonandi. No, Senator Sifuna, it is only the chair who determines whether a point of order stands or is overruled. So you've made your point of order. Kindly take your seat.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Take your seat. Senator Ledama, proceed. That does not warrant being called a point of order. Just proceed and conclude.
Mr. Speaker, those are points of annoyance. Because, Mr. Speaker, I am not discussing the merits or demerits of the case. I'm only trying to demonstrate to my colleagues why I'm proposing the committee way. I want to plead with you to listen to me, give me an ear. Ultimately, you will make the decision. Because for me today, having been considering myself as a ranking member of this House, I've sat through maybe 4 or 5 impeachment processes. The reason why I'm suggesting to you that you should consider passing this resolution is because I have experience. Mr. Speaker, it will be upon the 47 delegations to make a decision on whichever way they want to deal with this matter. I've told you the advantages of a committee, and I've also told you the disadvantages of a plenary. The reason why I believe, and this is the point that I was trying to prosecute earlier, that a committee is which would be able to give the people of Meru and the governor justice, is because as we sit here, as per Article 125, we are sitting with the powers that we have are quasi-judicial. We have the same powers as the High Court. So when you make a decision, it is imperative and important that we become future-centric, in the sense that whatever decision we make today, when we stand here to defend whichever way, either to send the governor home or to save the governor, it is something which will go on record, and your children and your future generation will be able to look back and say, that house. Because, Mr. Speaker, I consider this house the house of union, the house of reason. This is the only house, Mr. Speaker, where a senator from Lamu, who has got maybe 120,000 people, will sit, 90,000, will sit with a senator of Nairobi, who has got about 5 million people, and each one of them will have one vote. That is why I say it is a house of union. We are called upon, Mr. Speaker, to oversight our counties. You know, and that is the reason why we are the court that will decide, will be able to trial. Because one thing I want to remind my colleagues is that we do not impeach a governor. The Senate does not impeach a governor. The governor is impeached at the county assembly. The only thing we do is to confirm the charges. We are sitting as judges. And that is why I'm pleading with you that for us to be able to understand this process very well, I'm pleading with you that we go the committee way, trust distinguished men and women who represent counties and who represent the Senate of the Republic of Kenya to go through the documentation, come back and tell us, colleagues, distinguished senators, this is what we have found. We do it very well. I'm one of those people who believe that sitting here, and you will see, you will go through the experience if you choose to go the plenary way. You will get bored here, you will walk out, the two lawyers will rant, they will say whatever they want to say, you know. And you know, Senator Cherargei, through the Speaker, as I conclude.
Order, Senator Cherargei, Senator Gloria.
As you will have an opportunity to make your case.
We are not in a soccer match where you can boo when you don't like the player.
You know,
this is the plenary. Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, I now understand why a former colleague said that if, let me quit it there. It is important for us to reason. And I want to plead with you, as I call my colleague, the distinguished Senator Asige, to be able to second this motion, to consider the committee way. Because today you're sitting there, tomorrow you'll be a governor. And when you are governor, you'd want to be given an opportunity to be heard and to be given an opportunity for you to be able to be asked questions and represent. Finally, Mr. Speaker, as I move, I hope